I have been doing some thinking, and I think I'm going to make some amendments to the plan I made in this video. Because after trying to build a specific team for the Abyss every rotation, I have made zero progress. I haven't progressed any further in Abyss, my teams still feel garbage, and it's not really going how I hoped it would go. So I'm going to be making an amendment to that video. I'm still going to keep the base sort of premise of it, but instead of building it for the buffs in the Abyss, I'm going to build it for the enemies. Because if we go into the Abyss right now and have a look at the buffs that are in there, I obviously haven't tried it this version, because this first buff, when characters have 0 energy, we get 75% extra damage. That is literally impossible for all of my characters, because I'm pretty sure the only 2 characters that can proc that are Malika and Skirk. The second one is still not very good. It buffs normal attack cryo damage, which really only my DPS Ieave can do, and she doesn't do that very good. So what I'm going to be doing instead is going into here and having a look at the enemies and going, oh, okay, there's Cryo in the first half. So we probably want Pyro for that. We also want Pyro for this boss. And these, well, we also probably want Pyro for these. So I'd build a Pyro-based team. If you look at the second half, doesn't really matter on this first half. Here, you'd probably want Dendro or Cryo. And this last one, you want Cryo, so I'd build a Cryo-based team. And that's sort of the plan I'm going to run with, because I think that will work out a little bit better. So I've been doing some thinking and looking over the most recent Abysses, and a lot of the enemies have required you to use Pyro on them or Cryo on them. And we already have a really good Cryo-based team, with the DPS Ieave one, with Escoffier, Shenhe, and Farina. That team shreds everything, it's really good. But I was looking at some Pyro-based teams, because we do need some Pyro, because that's what a lot of the enemies require, and we don't really have a good Pyro team. Yes, we do have the Toma Burning team I built recently, but it's not really Abyss-worthy. So, I'm going to be revisiting this team, which is the DPS Hypercarry Overload Raiden build. Because Raiden is still one of my strongest characters. She is C1, and she definitely does do some of the most damage on the account, but she's always required to use Farina on a full hypercarry build. But I think I did try this a couple months ago, and I'm going to revisit it. We're going to have a look at this Overload team. Since that video, I think the only thing I've done is level up Kujo Sara. I'm not really too sure. I was also looking at a couple comments from that video and the Kujo Sara leveling up video, and I'm going to make some tweaks to the team from that. So this is going to be today's focus, is this team, which doesn't really need much because weapon-wise, everyone is fine. In terms of character levels, they are also all fine. Artifacts, Raiden Shogun is good. We're probably going to swap chevreuse onto, I'm not really too sure. Kujo Sara is good, and Benny or Noblesse is also good. I would like to get Sara and chevreuse up to C6, but they are not currently there at the moment. Bennett is, however, and Raiden C1. So then all we can really do is have a look at talents, which I don't really need to touch Raiden's. I'd like to get Chevreuse's a little bit further up. I'd also like to get Sara's possibly up to level 9 if that's possible. And Benny's I'd like to level up as well. So I think I'm going to start with the second most important character in the team, and that is Chevreuse. I will have a look at your talents first. So I think I'm going to try to get the skill up to level 11, which is level 8. I haven't yet farmed my weekly bosses, so I'll quickly go run that to get this drop, and then we could potentially get Chevreuse's skill up to level 9. Then I'll have a look at her artifacts as well, which I could actually run on Noblesse instead of Bennett, because I was thinking I could potentially use Ieave instead of Bennett. I don't really know if that's better, but if we do that, then Ieave can just run the Natlan buffing set, whatever it's called, the Scroll of Hero of Cinder City set, and then we can run Chevreuse or Noblesse. I don't know which one of those is better, but I feel like Ieave might be. I'm not really too sure, and I don't really have the time to test it today because I am leaving for a trip to Peru in a day, so I don't really have too much time to test much today. So I'm just going to run with Bennett because that's the team I've seen the most, but if you guys think I should be running Ieave instead, do let me know. I will just throw her on the team and use her because she's already built from memory. Also, if my voice sounds weird, I'm currently sick, which is so fun because we're leaving tomorrow. So yeah, you're gonna have to excuse that. We don't get the drop we need. Awesome. And no Dream Solvent either. Well, let me have a look if I have any Dream Solvents. I don't really have enough to spare. I'd rather get like 5 of them before I start using 2 at once. So we're going to leave Chevreuse's skill where it is. I wouldn't mind getting it a little bit higher, but it'll do where it is at level 8 and then level 7 for the burst. So all I'm going to do with you is have a look at your artifacts, which I am going to not use you on Song of Days Past, which is what I believe I used you on last time, or at least attempted to use you on. I'm instead going to be using you on this one, because I did see someone comment that it is actually not bad. You don't get the full buff from it, but you do get a bit of a buff. Never mind, I don't really have good pieces. Okay, so we probably won't be using this set then, because I don't have good pieces. The other option is we just don't use Bennett in this team and we just swap straight to Yansan, which, now that I think about it, I think I'm going to do that. I wasn't going to test the bout, but if I just use the Yansan team instead of Bennett, I think it'll be better. So there we go, noblesse obliged on chevreuse. She is running the Dialogues of Desert Sages, currently sitting at 43,000 HP. I think that's what you need to get all of her buffs. Plus that'll heal a decent amount, and 119 ER. On the lower side, but I don't think I need to use her burst a whole lot. I think the main one we care about is her skill. So that'll do for now. So that is chevreuse and Raiden Shogun done. I believe I actually didn't check, but I think you're on good artifacts. Yeah, they look pretty decent. Yeah, they'll do. Okay, awesome. Next up, we have Kujo Sara. I've also got you on pretty decent artifacts already. I am just running Emblem because I think it's her best. Weapons, Skyward Harp for you because I know damage, I guess, and more base attack. I don't really know. It just works, I think. And then for your talents, I could potentially level some stuff up, but I will get back to that if I don't need to do any other farming. Which just leaves us with not Bennett. We're going to use Yansan. Now, you are not level 90. However, you can be level 90. Not really, never mind. I will get you there in a second. I could use you on this. This could be pretty decent, I think. I don't really know about that, but I think it could be. Also, by the looks of things, I can get it leveled up, so I will do that. Boom, there we go. Which just leaves artifacts for you and talents. In terms of your talents, I think we just want to do your burst. Yeah, because you're basically like Bennett. You just want to use the burst all the time. So, we can get that up to level 7. And we could even go level 8, so let's do that. Now, I could go run this now. Do I have enough of these to craft? And these, yes, okay. I might go run Alakino's boss in just a second. First, though, artifacts. I need to sort something out with that. And I'm going to be using the Scroll of Hero of the Cinder City of... That's a really bloody long artifact name. I'm going to use that one. And just load you up with all the best stuff I can find. Crits, attack, energy recharge, all that fun stuff. I think I already have a good build for you because I did build you in the past. So there we go. Yansan at 2,400 attack. Crit ratio's non-existent, but 152 ER. Okay, not bad. I am going to go run Alakino's boss really quick, and then we'll farm some ley lines. We can get Yansan up to level 90. And then I'll go have a look at Kujo Sara's stuff because I just need to do a bit of farming for that. And I'm kind of trying to get things to level 8 or 9 in terms of the talents today. I could potentially push further, but I don't really think I need to right now. Plus, as I said, I am feeling a bit sick at the moment and I'm leaving tomorrow, so I'm trying to keep this recording under half an hour. Also, because we're going away, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a bunch of videos out. So I will be dropping back to one video a week while we're away, which is for the next 3 weeks, I'm going to say. And I'm going to be posting that video on, well, when this video goes live. So Saturday, Sunday, I believe, depending on where you're from. By the time you're watching this video, I would have already put up a community post about it that I will go into more detail about. But yeah, I am going to be dropping back to one video a week and possibly even missing 1 week because I can't get enough videos out. But that one will just be pushed back to, oh, Dream Solvent, nice. That video, though, will just be pushed back to that Wednesday, Thursday, instead of the Saturday, Sunday. So it'll be a week and a half in between videos then. But yeah, that is what's going to be happening now. Also, I think I'm going to use one Dream Solvent just so I can do this. Okay, now we can get your burst up to level 9, which we'll do for now. So that just leaves us with Kujo Sara, who I have enough drops to go pretty far. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get your skill. I mean, I could get your skill and burst up to level 9, but I need to do a lot of farming in here. These won't be a problem. You know what? Screw it. Let's do that. Let's go try to get 24 of these drops so I can get both your skill and burst up to level 9. Ooh, I just realized we don't have that many fragile resin. Okay, that's going to be a problem. Well, let's hope we get close here. We have 20 so far, so hopefully only 1 or 2 more runs because I don't really have much more fragile resin to go any further than that. Actually, now that I think about it, I also need to farm books for Yansan, but I think I might not be doing that. Okay, we got 23 so far. I think I'm going to just hope that we get some luck from Xingqiu And we do see a little bit of luck from Xingqiu. So, exactly 24. However, I just realized I don't think this is going to be possible because Mora. Ooh, we can get one of them up. So I'm going to do your skill. Well, that means we are entirely out of Mora for this now. I also don't really want to use any more fragile resin to farm ley lines, so I'm going to leave Janssen at 89. This is going to really annoy me, but I'll just get a couple of these from like daily commissions or quests or farming or whatever. So I think for now, I'm happy enough with the Raiden team. So let's go give this a really quick test. I did realize though that Bennett is very useful in this team because of the overload reaction. So it might not be worth it to swap him out, but I can still do the overload reaction. I just need to use Chevreus's burst instead of Bennett's skill, which is normally what you do. So in terms of that rotation, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go Raiden's skill. We're going to do Ieave stuff into Chevreus burst, and then we can use Chevreus's skill. Then we do Kujo's Sara stuff, and then we switch back to Raiden. Boom, 140k and some hits of 20 or so k. Not terrible. It could be better, but I'm not running Raiden on her preferred weapon, or at least the weapon I like to use her on, because that weapon would be this one, which is currently on a Escoffier. So Raiden is just on the catch, which is still a really good F2P weapon for her. I prefer the 5-star, but we can't use that because, yeah, it's on a Escoffier. Yeah, okay, so I think it could use a little bit more work. I think Raiden probably needs a bit more crit. It's not bad. I definitely think it might be better with Bennett, but I just need to get some better artifacts for that. I mean, I could just try Bennett on the team with the scroll set. He won't have the right substats, but we can see if this is any better. Okay, so the stats are not quite what I'd like, but he is in a 4-piece scroll of Hero of Cinder City. I hate that name. So I know I said I wasn't, but I'm just going to do a really quick test with Bennett. If he seems to do about the same or more damage on this current build, then I'll try to get a proper scroll set for him. Otherwise, I could potentially run something else on Chevreuse and run Bennett on Noblesse. I don't know what else I could use, so if there is any other options for artifacts that I could use in these guys, do let me know. But this is what I'm going to use for now. So, rotations for this is going to be something like, please, that, I think. And then Benny, do Sara, switch to Raiden, do that, and then burst. 160, so yeah, that definitely did more damage. And these are hitting now like 24, 19Ks. Yeah, okay, so it does look like Bennett is a little bit better. We are going to have fun with the circle impact thing, because I won't be able to leave his burst radius, but that is fine. I should be able to get over that. But yeah, this team definitely seems to do a little bit more damage, so we might just be focusing on getting some better pieces for Bennett. Well, that is good to know. So that now means that while it's not perfect, this team is definitely more leveled up and will do a bit better. I don't remember if this is better than last time we tried out this team, but at least some stuff are more leveled up. So yeah, whatever, I guess it'll do. I don't have any more time because I've been recording for 34 minutes and I wanted this video to be under 30 minutes. So yeah, we're gonna leave it there. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you like this video, go check out the first time we did build this Chevreuse Raiden Overload team. I do forget if it was better or not, but it was definitely, I think, solid damage. And with that, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.